Okay, so on this one, we're first asked to find the midpoint of this line, and when we find the midpoint of a line, we use the formula. The midpoint is equal to x1 plus x2 over 2, and then y1 plus y2 over 2. And that's going to be, you're going to plug in your x value, so it's going to be 3 plus 8 over 2, because x1 is 3, x2 is 8, and then y1 is going to be negative 4 plus 6 over 2. Well, that equals 3 plus 8 is 11, so 11 over 2, which would be fine, or you could change that to a mixed number, which would be 5.5. And then negative 4 plus 2 is 2, and 2 over 2 is the same as 1. So the midpoint of this line is 5 and 1/2, comma 1. And you can always graph this, and you can see that that would make sense. The length of the segment means let's find the distance. So the distance is always found by this formula. Both of these formulas you should have memorized. You'll need them in Algebra 1. You'll need them in geometry. So these should just get memorized. It's the difference of the x's squared plus the difference of the y squared. Add them up and take the square root. So in this case, it's going to be, square root is going to be, well, 3 minus 8 squared, and then negative 4 for y1 minus 6 squared. And so that gives you, and make sure you leave this in parentheses, it is a negative 5 squared and a negative 10 squared. If you don't put it in parentheses, you might forget that when you square this, it becomes a positive number. So negative 5 squared is 25. Negative 10 squared is 100. So your answer is square root of 125. And I didn't tell you to do this, but you need to know how to type that in your calculator, but you also need to be able to simplify. So 125, I look for what perfect square goes into 125. Well, 25 does, and 25 goes in 5 times. So the square root of 125 is the same as 5 root 5. So the length of the segment between these 2 points is 5 square root 5.